take slow. The night gets deep. Your silhouette a secret I keep. Whispers crawl where the shadows lead. Velvet skies, your name's a song.
Hey, welcome back to Sacred and Naked. I am Charity, your sacred intimacy guide. And if you are looking for an intimate view on healing or love, self-love, partner love, all things love, or if you simply need a reminder that you are not alone, you have come to the right place. Welcome to my safe space. I hope you guys have really enjoyed all the Alt Life Mississippi kickback interviews that you guys have seen. Got some amazing views, got some amazing engagement, and I'm still on a high from that night. It kind of helped me realize that I really want this podcast to be bigger than what I thought. I really enjoyed like the people coming in and kind of viewing and commenting and interacting. I really liked it, and so I want to get to a point where I can do this live and have live interactions from my listeners, my audience. And so I'm calling that in for myself and this podcast. It has been an amazing kind of crazy week, and I have some thoughts, and I want to share them with you. So you guys know that I have a crush. I've mentioned him a couple of times in a couple of episodes. He was the guy who reached out on a night where I was full of doubt when it came to my podcast, and he knew exactly what to say. Nobody could have known that I was in that space, but he just happened to reach out at the right time and use the right words and have the right engagement for me. And he really, really lifted my spirits, and, and this connection kind of ensued. I mentioned him again when I said that, I wanted to squirt again, and I used him as inspiration, as a visual and spiritual and audio inspiration to get me there, and I definitely got there. And then and we interact like just here and there. We'll encourage each other. He has his own things that he's pursuing. That's inspiring. I'm watching him, his discipline and his confidence and his drive, and it's just really inspiring. So I'll reach out to him and encourage him, and he'll reach out to me and encourage me to keep going with my podcast. And I have kind of been in a space where I'm not a woman that you will ever hear like male bashing, right? Like, I'm a woman who loves men. Whether I'm disappointed in the engagement or whatever that I'm receiving from men, I will never get on here and say men aren't shit or any of that. Like, I just don't agree with the gender wars. I feel like they are really fueled by systemic oppression and all that. Like it's built for us to do that. And when we engage in that, like we're just falling to the trap. It's just really what I believe, right? Like it was set up for us to be against each other. So I would never say that, regardless of what my interaction with men are in my life. But I do want to talk about this particular person on another episode. But I have some disappointment just by just a lot of men kind of in my life, just the way they engage with me. And so I was kind of losing hope as to the type of man I will be able to call in for myself, the type of man that I want as my divine partner, right? The type of man that matches me, my masculine equal. Just because just seems like men are just really focused on the sexual. Yes, they will engage in conversation with me, but ultimately they just want to fuck. And while I know what my energy gives off, I'm very sensual, I'm very sexual, my energy is vibrant, right? I'm not on that. I'm just not on sex like that. I can't change my energy. Like, it's because I am so comfortable with myself. It's just what I give off, But if you're not in tune with your healed self and your spiritual self and connected to the God in you, right? Like you misunderstand, you misinterpret what my energy is. My energy is divinely spiritual and sexual and sensual and healed. And I don't just want to fuck, because I know that the sexual energy exchange is just something more than just pleasure. Okay. So anyway, I was feeling super discouraged, probably for the past week or so. And so I wasn't really engaging with any man on a deeper level, just because I'm just disappointed. Like I'm having to turn down sexual advances and invitations just left and right. There's nothing, any deeper than that. Okay. So the other day I was taking a nap, and I'm talking about deep. It was deep sleep. And I keep my phone on do not disturb. And so you have to call me twice in order to get through. And so I won't even see it if you don't call me twice. And so my phone is buzzing, and I open my eyes and I see my crush's name scroll across my phone, and I'm like confused. So I answer, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, why does something have to be wrong? And I said, because you don't call me. And so he asked me some spiritual questions, right? Like he had a question about something that he had going on, and I answered it. I listened to him, and we ended up talking about more things. So we stayed on the phone for an hour and a half talking. Like I'm listening to him, and I'm engaging with him, exchanging this intelligent spiritual conversation. And it was almost like an answer, I don't want to say to my prayer per se, but it was almost like a response to my discouragement. It was like, there are men out here that are on what you're on, because I'm talking to this man he's calling himself an evolved man, right? Like that's what he's calling himself in my conversations. He's talking about his discipline. He's talking about how he's, he recognizes his vices, and the ones in particular that really work against him. And he's talking about how, his focus on them to make sure that he's not, causing his life to go downhill, that he's getting off track. He's focused on his strengths, like going for, his ambition, like going for his thing, and we're having this spiritual conversation. We're talking about God. We're talking about the devil. We're talking about logic. We're talking about all these things. And I'm listening to him, and it feels familiar. And it feels good. And it feels like, again, a spiritual answer or a spiritual encouragement to my discouragement that, girl, chill out. Like, there are men out here who are really pursuing what you're pursuing, right? Which is healing and growth and just betterment. Like, just wanting to be better than I was yesterday or years ago or moments ago. And it felt so good. Like, it felt so good. I don't even like talking on the phone. So, the fact that, of course I answered because I like him, but to stay on the phone and not be bored and not be like, oh my God, when is this conversation going to end? Because that's normally me. I hate talking on the phone, but I enjoyed talking to him. And what it made me think of is like, is it possible to have like a spiritual relationship? Like, you have sexual relationships where you just hook up sexually. You have emotional relationships where it's just, you guys depend on each other in emotional intimacy, right? It's almost like he was talking to me about his girlfriend and their space and, how he has straightened up, and whatever, and just very intentional in their space, which I love. And for me, I just was like, is it possible for us to feel like we're preparing, like we're doing something for one reason when we're really preparing for better, like the next, like the next person, the next level, the next season, right? So I'm not having sex right now, or I'm not having sex with masculine partners right now, and I think that's intentional, and I think it's preparing me for the masculine partnership that I'm calling in for myself. It's almost like consecration. Like I'm preparing like my temple for, whatever. If you're in the church, then you would know what consecration means. But like, it just felt like we're connected on a different level. And that feels good because that's the connection I want. Like, it's easy for me to, in the beginning, on the surface, to have a sexual connection with somebody. I'm a very sexual person. I attract very sexual beings. We can talk about what we like. We can talk about what we do. We can talk about all these things that will be attractive. And it could be like, oh yeah, like I want to try that. But I get bored with that easily because I'm somebody who needs deeper connection to feel fulfilled in the relationship. And so if you're just on sex, like, after I have sex, and the first time may be good, it may not be. If it's not good, you'll never talk to me again. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's okay, then if we're not having like deeper conversations and building some kind of emotional connection, then I'm off you, right? But now that I've kind of elevated to a more spiritual space, I can't just have the emotional now. Now I have to have the spiritual as well. And so it was so arousing. I think I stayed aroused off that conversation for like 3 days because I was like, oh, there are men out here who are pursuing spiritual elevation. You know what I mean? Like, that was so fucking attractive. And so, I don't know. There was this one part that he was talking about, where he was talking about like how I think we may both be words of affirmation, love language people, because I talked about before, like the way he was able to encourage me, right, with his words, and I also do the same for him. So he talked about like, being high off of encouragement, like, people, talking about, keep going and your music is this and, whatever. And there's a part where, he was talking about how sexually aroused he gets when that happens for him. And he said this line that, like, when women kind of encourage him in that space of like what he's pursuing, which is his, his music career, like, he said, you deserve this dick. And so for me, whenever he and I get into a space where we can explore that part, and I just feel like we will, after the conversation that we had this week, I just feel like it's inevitable. One, because it's what I want and I know how to call things in, at least one time. I just want to experience him, just because we have this spiritual connection, and I want to know what spiritual connected sex feels like. Like, that is what I am. That's what I'm striving for. That's what I want. Like, that's what I'm holding out for. I don't want to fuck anybody who is not spiritually awake. I just don't. I want to have sex with somebody who is whole and is in touch with themselves and God, and you know what I mean? That's the only kind of sex I want to have now. And so I'm calling it in. Like, I want to have that experience with him, and when we have that experience, I want him to tell me I deserve that dick, because, man, I've been holding out and I've been doing my thing, and I've been, so consistent with my podcast, and he tells me to keep going, and I've been going and going, and I deserve it. I deserve it. Like, the other day in my solo time, I could just hear him say, baby, you deserve this dick. And I want to hear him say it. Like, I know you're going to see this. I want to hear you say it. Like, you have to say that when we finally get the opportunity to be together in that way. I think it's really cool that he knows that he has that spiritual love from me. You know what I mean? Like, he was able to reach out and get the information, the spiritual information that he needed. He said, I got a lot of women. I got a lot of spiritual women that love me. And he's right, because I hold him in that space, and I've been going before him in that spiritual realm, trying to figure out that issue. And I love having that gift, and I love having that connection with him. So anyway, super fucking crazy, but super fucking good. I have to let y'all know whenever that comes into fruition. I know it is, cause that's just what I do. That's what I do. I'm good at it. I'm good at calling shit in that I want to happen, and I want to experience that. And I'm going to say right now that it's going to be good, cause sometimes I call in some shit that I really want, and I'm not specific with it, and it's not good. And so I'm going to say that experience with him is going to be mind-blowing. Tell me what you think about it. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think, like, I wasn't even thinking about him? Like, normally, I can feel, I guess I was thinking about him. I could feel him, but I wasn't feeling that he was having an issue. I was really wanting to disconnect from the feelings that I have for him. I was really wanting to disconnect from the feelings I was having for any kind of man, because of the disappointment I was feeling, in the recent interactions that I've been having. And so I was super fucking surprised that I got a call from him. He was like, "Do you know who this is?" Yeah. I do know who it is. And it just felt good. Like, it was like I was talking to my partner. Like, the energy was just so familiar. It was like family, but not like family like my brother, or not like family like we grew up together, but it was like, baby, I need to consult with you on some spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? And I could probably do the same thing with him. Hey boo, I need some advice on, how to pursue this. Like, I see you doing this. Like, what do you think my next move should be? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like we have that connection. It almost felt like, you right. Like, okay, it may not be here right now in the 3D, like right now here, like we might not be in a relationship like right now, but we even talked about, like, we don't want to force it. Like, yes, we feel something, right? But like, we don't want to force it. Like, we want it to be natural, like happen naturally. And I'm on it. Like, I kept saying, like, man, we on the same page. Like, he was saying things that I had thought already. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it felt like just like a spiritual response to, okay, there are men like this. You're in the right space. You're right about this. Just chill out, just stay on your path, and your person is coming. Your person is preparing himself, and I'm not saying that this person is my person. What I'm saying is, and I do want to experience him though. What I'm saying is, I'm encouraged that there is a person like the person that I want, because that person called me, and the person let me know that, like, there are men out here, evolved men. I just like how he said that are pursuing real growth and discipline, like real elevation spiritually, physically, sexually. We talked about how, because I was saying, like, I'm not having sex right now, I'm focused on this, that, whatever. And he was talking about, like, how he abstains from sex as well, you know, when he's super focused. And I'm like, we on the same, I get you, you know, like I get you. So it just felt super familiar. It felt good. It felt like a spiritual cookie, a little treat that said, hey baby, you exactly where you're supposed to be. The man that you want does exist. Just stay on the path. So it felt good. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm crazy or if you've experienced this before. I would love to know that. I would love to know that. Let me know if you have any predictions. Do you think that eventually we're going to get a chance to experience each other in the sexual space? Because, you know, we talk here and there. We got a little spiritual thing. I would love a more spiritual, I guess a more solidified like spiritual thing, but I just want to know what that sex finna be like. So let me know, like, what are your predictions? Until next time, I love y'all. Thank you for all the engagement, like the subscriptions, like they're coming back up. Please continue to share and to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on over here to this healing side. I love y'all. Bye.